Okay, so we're stranded up here on top of a mountain, miles away from civilization, and hey, no, don't look at that. So we're in trouble up here. We really need to signal somebody, and I have a hunch that maybe we have some friends over in that direction, about 20 miles where we told them to be, and there's a problem. We're running out of supplies, but there's some good news. We have an entire backpack full of flashlights, so maybe we can signal them. All right, so something I've often wondered is, can you use flashlights to signal somebody from a long distance? So we're going to hike up this mountain, and then we have a team of friends who are going to drive 18 miles in that direction, and we're going to test this out.
We are going to hike up to the top of this butte, which isn't really that tall, but it's isolated and there aren't any lights at the top, so it'll be really good for this. Our friends are going to chill 18 miles away over in these sand dunes, which will allow them to get a bit of their own elevation and will hopefully separate them from other city lights that may be distracting in this test. Okay, but before we do that, we have to go over the flashlights that we're going to be using tonight, because there's a huge variety of different types and characteristics that are really going to impact this test. For this test, I want both teams to have 6 different types of flashlights. A small, really compact EDC, a more standard, brighter EDC, then kind of an enthusiast-focused, super bright EDC, an LEP or laser-excited phosphor flashlight, a compact, super high output light, a really large thrower, and then just a huge maximum output power flashlight.
All right, so as far as this test is concerned, there's really 2 flashlight characteristics that we want to look at. The first is output, which is measured in lumens. That's how much light is actually coming out of the flashlight. The second is intensity, which is measured in candela. That's a measurement of how focused the light is. That matters for this test because obviously at a distance, more lumens is going to be brighter, but more candela or more intensity means more of the light is actually focused at our target, or in this case, our friends who are 20 miles away.
All right, these are all of the flashlights that I ended up deciding on for this project. You can see we have 2 groups here. This group on the left are the lights that are going to go up the mountain on the hike. So we want these to be a little smaller and more portable. Starting here on the left, we have the Olight i3T, which is a small AAA light. This is the ThruNite TN12, which is a pretty standard 18650 EDC. This is the MSR DT8, which is one of, if not the brightest 18650 light you can get. It's very powerful. This is the Mataminco FW2. This is an 18650 LEP, a very portable laser flashlight. This here is the Wuben Falcon X1. So this is a really portable light that is extremely powerful as well. This is the Noctagon K1. This is a super throwy light that'll throw very, very far. And this flashlight is also a viral meme, so I thought it was appropriate for this project. And then finally here we have the Imlant MS12 Mini. This is one of the brightest flashlights that you can buy, and as you can see, it's still quite portable. Now if we swing over on the side here, these ones don't need to be quite as portable, so I've opted for some slightly more powerful, more throwy options. Here we've got the Olight i5T. This is a AA EDC, very popular, slightly brighter than the other Olight. This is a Science Guy P25. This is a little large for an EDC, but it's super bright. It's almost 4,000 lumens. This is the MSR D4S V2. This is also a very powerful flashlight. Not as bright as the DT8, but it's more throwy. So this will be an interesting comparison, I think. This is the Nitecore P35i. So this is a dual channel light. It's got super bright LEDs, but also a very throwy, really quite impressive LEP, laser channel. So that's going to be a cool one. This is the Menker MK38. This flashlight's about 20,000 lumens, but it's also quite throwy, so I think it'll work really well for this project. And then here for our thrower, we've got the ThruNite TN42 V2. This thing is an extremely potent thrower. It's over 1 million candela. So if nothing else, this will be the one that punches out there, I imagine. And then finally, just to make sure, we've got the Acebeam X75, which is one of the brightest flashlights in the world, about 80,000 lumens. As a quick prediction, I'm pretty certain that this is going to work. From a long distance, you can see street lights, house lights, vehicle lights, etc. So some of the flashlights we have are definitely going to be brighter and much throwier. The question really is going to be just how bright and how noticeable are these going to be, and are the smaller flashlights still going to be effective?
All right, so these are the 6 flashlights that we brought, going from smaller to big. We got a variety. We got our flutter, our thrower, laser flashlight, and our little EDC. We're gonna start with this guy. I don't expect this to work at all, but gotta test it, right? Okay, tell me.
All right. Camera rolling.
Okay, sick. All right. And I am now shining this light in your direction.
I can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah.
Do you see it like waving a little bit?
Yeah, it's like flickering.
Good.
Yeah.
Sick. That means it's actually working. Dope. I'm actually shocked that this tiny little light apparently made it out there. We'll have to see what the footage looks like from the other camera. I am now shining this light in your direction.
Yeah, I can see it.
Can see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see it like waving a little bit?
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's like flickering.
Yeah.
Good. Sick. That means it's actually working. Dope. I'm actually shocked that this tiny little light apparently made it out there. We'll have to see what the footage looks like from the other camera. All right, Freddie, do you want to shine that first light at us?
All right, it's shining. It's on. Can you see it?
I might be able to see it. Can you wave it around a little bit?
Yeah, I'm waving.
We probably can't see that one because there are too many other lights competing with it from just cars that are driving down that direction. So I will say that one was not successful due to other interfering lights. Okay, we've now got our second flashlight ready. This one is about 1100 lumens, and we're gonna shine it and see what happens. All right, here we go, shining it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
How clear is it?
It's brighter than the first one.
Does it look good on camera?
Yeah.
Dope. Okay, I am turning this light off, and now you can stop that camera. Looks like this guy was a success. All right, Freddie, turn on that second flashlight.
Can you see me?
Turn it off. Back on.
Okay, back on now.
Okay, I can't tell. There's so many lights in that direction. Do you want to turn it back off?
Okay, turn it
Oh,
off.
I do see it. Turn it on. Do you see it over there? There it is. You see it, that tiny little dot in that direction? From this distance, about 18 miles away, that 4,000 lumen floaty flashlight, I can definitely see it pointing at me, and it is actually now bright enough to stand out. Sick, Freddie, you can turn that one off. We are now going to do our third flashlight. This is the MSR GT8, which is extremely bright. I'm pretty confident they're going to see this one.
Oh yeah, it's super bright.
Super
I
bright?
can see it. Yeah. It's more like an orange-ish kind of light. Warmer. Oh yeah, I can see it. It's a lot bigger than the previous flashlights.
Would you say that's like really obvious even from a distance?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious, pretty big.
Sick. Awesome. Well, this is a very bright, very impressive flashlight too here. So that is pretty epic for just a single 18650 light. Sweet. All right, Freddie, go ahead and shine that light in our direction.
All right.
Yep, there it is in that over there. Sorry, you probably can't see me right now. It's really dark, but that light that's pointing at us right there, it is a little more clear, probably because that light is more intense than the previous one, but it's not a whole lot brighter. So, okay, you can turn that light off now.
Okay, off. Oh,
Cool.
It's pretty hot.
So the MSR D4S V2 at about 6,000 lumens or so is also visible pretty clearly. Not a huge improvement though, surprisingly enough. This is going to be the laser flashlight.
Okay,
So you want to start the camera?
it's rolling.
Okay, this is the LEP. This is a small portable laser-based flashlight. All right, we are shining it at you.
Yeah, I can see it. It's not as big as the previous one,
Uh-huh,
but it's still very obvious
very obvious.
that you're shining over here.
Pointing away, pointing towards you.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So this is actually a really impressive, just little laser flashlight, but as you can see, it is extremely intense and it manages to get out there pretty darn well. No, not that one. That's the next one. It's the one that's kind of long and it's black.
Long and black. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, now point that one at us.
All right, ready?
Yep. Oh, wow. That is actually super clear.
Wow.
That's very obvious when you point it at us. So what's interesting about that one, you know, being a laser flashlight is it's so tight that you only see the beam when it's pointing directly at us, in this case directly at the camera, but when it is pointing at us, it's very obvious. Can you see that on the camera? I'll say to my eyeballs, it's actually like really clear out there. Man, that is actually really sick though. All right, Freddie, you can turn that one off.
Okay. This one is sick.
Now we're gonna get our next flashlight ready. This is, I don't know what number this is. This is the next flashlight. And I am shining at you.
Yep.
How's that look on camera?
It looks okay.
Yeah?
It looks just like the previous one.
Yeah?
But yeah, it's obvious.
I'm not too surprised because as we can see, this light is extremely bright. This is a very impressive flashlight, but it's not very concentrated. This is pretty much just a straight floodlight. So I don't expect this one to really get out there much better. So you can cut the camera on that one now. Can you now shine the one that's white with the handle? There it is.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Now that is very obvious from where I'm standing. That's actually shockingly bright.
Oh, what?
I don't know how it's looking on camera, but that light is standing out very clearly from all of the other lights in the area. So that was 100% a viable signaling method. That's actually super cool. I'm really impressed with that. That's awesome, Freddie. Okay, you can turn that light off. Okay.
All right. Oh wow, it's super bright. What the? Dude, that thing's bright. I can see my roommate from here.
This next one, I'm confident is gonna look pretty good out there. This is the Noctagon K1, which is an extremely tight thrower. All right, here we go. I am shining it at you.
Yep, I can see it. This one's bright.
How clear is it?
With the eyeball, it's a lot clearer than all the flashlights that have been tested. But then on the camera, it look just a little bigger spot.
Yeah. It's like flickering.
You might not be pointing exactly at us.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually good that you bring that up. I'm shining this flashlight around specifically to illustrate the fact that it's only going to appear bright to them where the hot spot is actually hitting them. And it's going, so from their perspective, it's gonna look like it's flickering. And that's one area where throw versus flood is gonna make a big difference. So here's a floody flashlight pointing at you guys. And as you can see, that's not gonna flicker quite as much. But here is a throwy flashlight pointed in your direction, and it's definitely going to flicker because it's not going to be dead on you all the time. This flashlight, the meme flashlight, does pretty well. So, not really surprised, but happy about that. All right, start shining that at us.
Can you see it?
Yeah, so that is the ThruNite TN42 V2 that is shining at us. I don't know how it looks on camera again, but I gotta say, to the eye, that's actually really clear. That's very bright. It's not ideal on camera just because there's other lights and, you know, the camera is not as sensitive to dim lights as the human eyeball is, but that would definitely be getting my attention at night. Even from this distance of 18 miles, it's like obnoxiously bright, which is kind of awesome. I'm really, really happy with that result, very satisfied. Not surprised because that flashlight is 5,000 lumens and 1.1 million candela. I mean, if anything is going to reach us, that would be it. So that's awesome. Sick, you can turn that light off. Whoa, I'm gonna die. Now this is our biggest flashlight. This is the Imolent MS12 Mini. This is about 65,000 lumens, and we are gonna shine this at them. All right, here you go.
See it? It's pretty obvious. Just eyeball it.
Yeah, that's really bright, I would say.
It's extremely bright from this perspective as well.
It also look good. It also looks good on the camera too.
Cool. Yeah, this thing like illuminates pretty much the whole mountainside. It's insanely powerful and also extremely hot. I'm gonna turn this off. Awesome. All right, and now do you want to get ready the biggest flashlight.
We got it. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
It's pretty loud.
Yeah, that thing is a beast. So again, I don't know how it's looking on camera, but to my eyeball, it's very clear. So this is not surprising to me that that flashlight at 80,000 lumens, but about 200,000 candela, is actually less bright to me than the previous one, the thrower, the TN42 was. However, it's still super bright. There's no question about that, that you would definitely be able to see that from, I mean, we're talking right now, we're 20 miles away. You could probably double that distance and it would still be clearly visible to the eye. That's like impossible to miss. That's actually really, really cool, honestly. I'm loving this. Okay, you can turn that off.
Sweet.
We're gonna do one more for you, Freddie.
Okay, it's rolling.
Okay, this is a little bonus one for you. This is the Olight Marauder 2. My friend had this flashlight and it's cool, so I figured you would use it. This is a hybrid, so it's got a flood channel and a throw channel. One thing I don't like about this is the unlock system. All right, we're now pointing this at you.
Yep, I can see it.
And now we're gonna switch to the throw channel.
I can still see it.
It got dimmer, yeah.
It got dimmer.
Yeah, just a little smaller at the dot.
Okay, and I'm gonna switch
This one's
back.
bigger. Yeah.
Dang, this is a bright flashlight. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off and you can cut the camera. I'm gonna set that back there. And well, Freddie, I think that's it. Okay, so that concludes our test. I have to say, I'm honestly super impressed at how effective that was, especially when we got to those more powerful flashlights, the laser, the MK38, the TN42 V2, that were very intense and very bright. In person, they were actually really clear, really bright. You know, this is just how it is. The camera is not as sensitive as the human eye, so it's not gonna look as impressive on camera. Unfortunately, I can't really show you how cool it actually looked while we were up here, but for sure, you are absolutely able to use these flashlights to signal somebody at a distance. And beyond that, it's just really fun and really cool. So if you collect a bunch of cool flashlights like this, get together with some friends and try this out, I think it will be really fun. I recommend it. As for the effectiveness, you'll notice that the lights that were most clear to us, at least to me in person, were the more intense ones. So the laser, the TN42 V2, the MK38 again, those are very clear. The X75, despite being incredibly bright, was actually a little less obvious to me. And that's really as I expected, just because it has less candela to punch out here. If you're looking for a flashlight specifically to do this, you do want to be looking for something that has more throw as opposed to something that is brighter. As for the smaller flashlights, the Olight, maybe it was visible, but I couldn't pick it out amongst the other lights that were in the distance, you know, headlights and streetlights and whatnot. So I would say that one really is not something you can rely on. The bigger ones, like the 4,000 lumen EDC, I could actually notice it. I could pick it out from the others, but it wasn't super obvious. And then the slightly brighter MSR was just a little more obvious. So you definitely can fit something in your pocket that will be bright enough to signal somebody even 18, 20 miles away. So I will call this experiment a success, and it was also super enjoyable. So yeah, we're done up here. All right, well, that's all for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it because we hiked up this stupid mountain to do it. There's going to be links in the description for some of these flashlights, maybe. I'm not actually sure. I'll figure that out later. But hope you enjoyed it. Share it with all your friends and family. Goodbye.